Gentleman yields back. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questions. Because I want to get into it. You called it the perfect storm happened, fail-safes failed. But can you talk about what was the perfect storm and why it will never happen again? Because, a lot of perfect storms, 100-year floods are all happening now every other year. So I want to make sure that you all know what happened, can explain it, and then how you're making sure it's not going to happen again. We're dancing around it. I just, let's get into let's get technical.
Thank you, Chairman. The content validator was looking at the content channel file, which had 21 fields in it. The content validator allowed those 21 fields to go out to the sensor fleet. The sensor was looking for a configuration rule that was not present. When it attempted to use that rule, that's where the sensor failed. And so that's what caused the blue screen. And so that was detailed in the RCA, and I don't know if I could explain it in the 3 minutes that are left here, but effectively, because the perfect storm was the content validator allowed the content configuration to go out to the sensor, and the sensor was not able to find the rule that it was looking for, causing the issue.
So you fixed it. This can't happen again.
It's a combination of process and the methodology at which we're now deploying those configurations. As said, the configuration now is being treated as code, whereas before it was treated purely as configuration information. So we're providing a lot more oversight and visibility into what that is and how it goes out to the system.
And how it goes out, you all change. That was what the chairman asked before. It's not all going out at once to everyone. So even if this does happen again, you fixed it where it won't affect everyone all at once. And now another problem with fixing what happened, there was people had to be on site, correct? You had to go to the different computers and reboot them individually. That's how we got everything back up and running, correct?
Initially, the systems would need to be rebooted, the file deleted, and then the system allowed to boot from there. Subsequent to that, we came up with a USB boot disk that could be plugged in, and the system could be rebooted, and that would automate the removal of the file. And then finally, we were able to deploy an automated solution, which allowed us to do this without manual intervention.
Okay. So there was reporting about CrowdStrike's faulty software update is largely focused on commercial operations, like emergency services, flights. But there was also a big impact on federal agencies, such as the FCC, Social Security, CBP, and even CISA. Although networks are becoming increasingly interconnected, government networks should be isolated from commercial ones. Why were federal agencies impacted by this outage? Does your process for pushing out updates include, are there different updates to test for commercial versus government business when you're dealing with your clients, or is it all the same? Is it one computer, just one computer here?
The updates went to Microsoft Windows operating system sensors that CrowdStrike had deployed. So that would have impacted any system that was running Microsoft operating system with that particular version of CrowdStrike Falcon that was online during the time period that the channel file was distributed.
So as long as Microsoft was on that computer using that system, whether it was government or commercial, didn't matter, it was affected.
As long as the CrowdStrike sensor was running on the Microsoft operating system on those systems at that time, yes.
Okay, wonderful. What did actually? You know what? I'm gonna come back for my second round because this is a much longer question than I have my time left for. So I'm gonna yield back, and then I'm